My girlfriend is using me for money, and I'm still with her. It all started with a dinner I couldn't afford. Lexi wanted sushi that night, not just takeout or some hole-in-the-wall spot, but real sushi. The kind that comes in tiny pieces on giant plates with flowers and gold flakes and words you can't pronounce. She texted me around 3 p.m. "Let's go somewhere nice tonight, I'm craving omakase." I hesitated. My rent was due in a week, and I'd already had to move some money around just to cover gas. But I didn't want to say no. You see, Lexi was, well, stunning. Tall, blonde, the kind of person who didn't need filters for her photos but used them anyway. Her skin was flawless. Her voice always light and bubbly. She looked like the kind of girl you see walking out of a Pilates class with a green juice and a tote bag that cost more than your car insurance. Me? I worked at support. Hoodie guy, a little awkward. The kind of dude who reads every Reddit thread about avoiding small talk. I had a cat named Albus and a savings account that regularly dipped below $100. Still, Lexi liked me, or at least, she said she did. She laughed at my jokes, texted me every morning, held my hand in public. I thought that meant something, so I booked a reservation at Okamoto, the trendiest sushi place downtown. It was the kind of restaurant where the menu didn't have prices, and the waiter described each course like it was a work of art. When we sat down, Lexi didn't even look at the menu. "I'll have the omakase," she said, smiling at the waiter. "And sake pairing too." She turned to me and grinned. "You don't mind, right? It's been a long week." What was I going to say? Yes, I mind that this meal will cost more than my electric bill? Of course not. I smiled back. Forced, but convincing. Of course not. The total came out to just over $280. She didn't glance at the bill. Not once. Didn't offer to split. Didn't say thank you. Just took a photo of her dessert and posted it on Instagram with the caption, "Sushi dreams blessed that night." I started a spreadsheet. I know, it sounds petty, but I wasn't trying to trap her, I was trying to see if I was imagining things. I logged the date, what we did, what I spent, and whether she contributed. I left out groceries and stuff we both used. Just dinners, outings, things she requested or insisted on. In 3 months, I logged 27 entries. $3,194.12 spent. Lexi's contribution, $0. It wasn't just the money though, it was everything around it. How she never said thank you. How she posted about our trips but cropped me out. How she called me her rock when I paid her phone bill because her bank app was glitching. Once when I joked, and I mean joked, about how I should start charging her interest, she laughed and said, "That's what boyfriends are for, silly." That one stuck with me hard. I started noticing other things too, like how every time rent was due, something dramatic happened. Her credit card got frozen. Her PayPal messed up. Her roommate was short this month. It always ended the same way. Me helping, her promising to pay me back, and then silence. I didn't tell anyone about the spreadsheet. It felt shameful. Like I was weak for letting it happen. Like I wasn't man enough to set boundaries. But the truth was, I was scared to lose her. I had convinced myself that this was love. That relationships are about give and take, and I just needed to keep giving until she started taking less. Spoiler alert, she never did. Then came the Santa Barbara trip. Lexi said we needed to get away, to reconnect. She sent me links to Airbnbs, spa packages, vineyard tours. I told her I couldn't afford it. She pouted like full-on bottom lip out. Sad eyes pout and said, "But I already told everyone we're going." That should have been a red flag. Instead, I booked everything. The Airbnb was $475 for 2 nights. The wine tour was $150. Meals, gas, extra shopping, another few hundred. She brought 1 duffel bag and an empty wallet. And when we got home, she uploaded a carousel of photo sunsets, charcuterie boards, her in a white dress on a patio. Not one photo of me. Caption: "Weekend of self-care with the best company." I wasn't even tagged. That night, I stared at my spreadsheet for a long time. I added up the totals. Then I looked at my bank account. I was $87 away from being overdrawn, and Lexi was snoring beside me with a silk sleep mask and her phone still open to a $100 handbag. I didn't sleep. I just sat there in the dark, wondering what the hell I was doing. That weekend broke something in me. It wasn't about being repaid. I didn't want the money back. I wanted to feel like more than a credit card with a face. I wanted to feel seen, appreciated, loved, and that's when I decided I was done. Not immediately. I didn't want a screaming match or a dramatic exit. I needed a plan, something calm, simple, but final. So I made one. And it started with one last dinner. I invited Lexi to dinner the following Friday. Just like always, I booked the reservation, picked her up, and complimented her outfit even though she was 30 minutes late, and spent the entire car ride on TikTok. This time I chose a trendy rooftop spot she had been dying to go to for weeks. She had posted about it once, saying, "Need a man to take me here ASAP." I guess I fit the role. She ordered the filet mignon, truffle fries, 2 cocktails, and a dessert, just to taste. I got a burger, no drink. I wasn't here to celebrate, I was here to end things. Still, I kept the conversation light. She told me about a coworker who got fired for being poor, her words, and how she needed a mental health day after her Amazon cart exceeded $2,000. I nodded, smiled where I was supposed to, pretended I didn't feel like vomiting. When the bill came, she didn't flinch. She grabbed her phone and started taking selfies while I pulled out my card. It felt routine now, like clockwork. I asked her, casually, "Do you ever think about the future?" She giggled. "You mean like us getting married?" I shrugged. "Maybe. Just what you see happening down the line." She sipped her drink, thinking, "I don't know. I've always wanted to live in New York. Maybe start my own boutique. Definitely not working a 9 to 5 forever. And how do you see us fitting into that?" I asked. She looked at me like I'd asked if fish could drive. "What do you mean?" "I mean, do you see us both building something? Like equal partners?" She laughed. "Babe, that's kind of the point. I do the dreaming, you do the boring stuff. That's how it works, no?" I stared at her. She wasn't even being malicious. She genuinely believed that was a normal dynamic. I nodded. "Got it." I paid the bill. When we got back to her apartment, she kicked off her heels and collapsed on the couch, scrolling Instagram. "God, my feet are killing me," she groaned. I stood near the door. "I'm not coming in." She looked up. "Why?" I smiled. "'Cause I'm done." She tilted her head like a confused puppy. "Done with what?" "With being your boyfriend, your free Uber, your rent extension, your lifestyle sponsor." She rolled her eyes. "Oh my God, is this about the dinner again?" I pulled out my phone and opened the spreadsheet. I had cleaned it up, color-coded it, added totals and notes. I'd even put it in Google Sheets in case she wanted a copy. I handed her the screen. "This is everything I've paid for over the last 5 months, not including groceries or gifts, just stuff you asked for and never paid back." She took the phone, scrolling. Her expression shifted not to guilt or shame but to mild annoyance. "Wow, you've really been keeping track like some accountant?" "Yes," I said calmly. "Because you were treating me like a business." She scoffed. "You're being so dramatic. You're a guy. It's literally your job to pay for stuff." I didn't even respond to that. I just said, "We're done, Lexi. I hope you find whatever you're looking for, but it's not going to be with me." She stood up, clearly stunned now. "Wait, you're seriously ending things over money?" "No, don't, Jay. I'm ending it because you never once made me feel like I mattered beyond my wallet." She crossed her arms. "So what? You want me to Venmo you or something? Is that what this is?" I shook my head. "Keep it. Consider it tuition. I learned a lot." And then I walked out. No screaming, no crying, just silence. I got in my car, turned off my phone and drove straight home. For the first time in months, I slept like a rock. The next morning, I woke up to 34 unread messages. Missed calls, texts, DMs, most of them from her. Some from her friends, a few from numbers I didn't recognize. Screenshots, posts. Apparently, she went on Instagram that night and posted a tearful story about how her toxic ex blindsided her and demanded money like an abuser. She even showed the spreadsheet, claiming I'd been tracking her like a stalker. And the wildest part, people believed her. Or at least, pretended to. The comments were brutal. He gives accountant vibes. Girl, he was definitely autistic or something. Men will literally log expenses instead of going to therapy. At first I was angry, then embarrassed, then free. Yeah, why? Because for every troll, there were quiet messages too. From people I hadn't spoken to in years. Old classmates, a coworker, even my ex before Lexi. They all said the same thing. "You didn't deserve that." That week, I deleted my social media, took some time off work, Spent a weekend at my friend's cabin. No internet, just books, nature, and a cat who finally got my full attention again. And the funny thing? I started smiling more. I cooked, cleaned, laughed, slept. I felt like myself again. 3 weeks later, I got a Venmo request from Lexi, $3,194.12 label. Emotional damages. I didn't respond. I just blocked her. And that was that. Or so I thought. About a month after I ended things with Lexi, my life had finally started to feel normal again. Work was manageable. I was going to the gym more often. My apartment no longer looked like a war zone of fast food containers and Sephora boxes. I even signed up for a beginner cooking class. Life was quiet, in a good way. Then came the knock. It was around 7:30 p.m. on a Wednesday. I had just sat down with a plate of homemade pasta thanks YouTube when I heard someone banging at the door. Not knocking, banging. I peeked through the peephole. Lexi, in a hoodie. No makeup, hair in a bun. She looked pissed and anxious. I opened the door just a crack. "What are you doing here?" She shoved the door open and walked in like she owned the place. "No hello?" she said sarcastically. "Wow, you've really moved on, huh?" I closed the door behind her cautiously. "Lexi, what the hell are you doing here?" She turned to face me, arms crossed. "I need your help." I blinked. "Excuse me? I need a place to stay. Just for a couple nights." I genuinely laughed, not even out of cruelty, just sheer disbelief. "You've got to be joking." "I'm serious," she said. Things got bad with my roommates. One of them called the landlord on me because I was behind on rent. I had nowhere else to go. "What about your friends? You have like 50 of them." She looked away. "Yeah. Turns out friends don't like when you drag them into Instagram drama." I sighed. "Lexi, we broke up. You humiliated me online. You accused me of being abusive. And now you want to crash on my couch." Her tone shifted. "It's just for a night or two. Please. I'm not asking for money. Just somewhere to breathe. You're the only person I know who isn't gonna screw me over." I stared at her. The same Lexi who once said I was too boring to cheat and safe like a golden retriever. But she looked scared. Not manipulative. Not performative. Scared. "So, like a complete idiot," I said. "One night. That's it." She slept on the couch. I made sure to keep my door locked. The next morning, she was still asleep when I left for work. I left a note. "Gone for the day. Be up by 6 p.m. When I got home that evening, she was gone. No note. No drama. The apartment was untouched. I was relieved. Maybe that was really it. But then, the texts started again. Not angry ones, friendly ones. A meme. A song. A "remember this?" video from a trip we took. She was testing the waters. I didn't reply. I didn't block her either. I just watched. 3 days later, she sent me a message that stopped me cold. "We need to talk. It's not about us. I swear. Please." Against my better judgment, I agreed. I told her we could meet at a diner. Neutral ground. That night, she showed up wearing sunglasses and a hoodie again. She looked around nervously before sitting. "You okay?" I asked. She leaned in. "I think someone's following me." I frowned. "What are you talking about?" "I'm serious. Like, I'll be at the store and see the same guy, same car behind me when I drive. I'm not making it up." I hesitated. "Did you do something to someone?" Her lips tightened. "Not on purpose. Remember that spreadsheet? The one you showed me?" I nodded. Confused. "Well, I posted it to roast you. But apparently it got picked up by this MRA podcast or something. The guy hosting it made a whole video trashing me, called me a scammer. A predator." I raised my eyebrows. "Okay, and?" She looked pale. "The guy has fans. Crazy ones. People started doxing me, emailing my boss, threatening my family. I even got a dead rat mailed to the salon." I sat back, stunned. "I didn't think it'd blow up like that," she continued. "I thought I was just embarrassing you, not inviting psychos into my life." She wasn't wrong. Some of those online spaces could be dark. "What do you want from me?" I asked. She swallowed. "I need you to make a statement. Just say we're on good terms. That I'm not some evil gold digger. It might calm things down." I blinked. "Lexi, you made me the villain. You accused me of abuse." "I know," she whispered. "And I'm sorry. I was hurt. I was stupid. I didn't think anyone would care." She pulled out her phone, showed me screenshots, horrible ones. "Rot in hell, you lazy leech. Hope your face gets slashed like your personality. would pay $50 to see her cry on livestream. For all her flaws, and there were many, I didn't wish this on her. I agreed to post a neutral update on Reddit. Not an apology, not a defense, just clarification. That same night I wrote, "Update. I've moved on from the relationship and prefer not to stir more drama. For what it's worth, I don't believe Lexi deserves threats or harassment. Real people are involved. Let's all move on. Simple, clean, human." The next day she texted, "Thank you." Seriously, I didn't reply. About a week after I posted the Reddit update, I figured everything was behind me. Lexi had gone quiet again. My DMs stopped blowing up. The Reddit thread finally stopped getting comments. People had moved on. I had moved on. Until I got a call from Sabrina. Sabrina was one of Lexi's oldest friends. We'd hung out a few times back when Lexi and I were still dating. She was always kind, always calm, basically the complete opposite of Lexi. "Hey," she said, voice low. "You got a second?" I stepped outside to take the call. "Yeah? What's up?" "You need to know something," she said. "I wasn't going to get involved, but this whole thing is spiraling, and you don't deserve to be in the dark." I felt my chest tighten. "About what?" "Lexi, everything. The relationship, the spreadsheet, the breakup. It wasn't just drama. It was planned." I was silent for a few seconds. "What do you mean?" She sighed. "Lexi had a bet with someone, one of her influencer friends. It started as a joke to see if she could date a guy for a full year who made less than her, lived like a peasant, and would still fall for her. You were the target." I felt like the air was knocked out of my lungs. "No way," I said, almost laughing. "She told me she loved me. We lived together." "I know," Sabrina replied. "And she might have developed some real feelings, but the bet was real. I saw the group chat, screenshots. They even gave you a nickname, The Project." I sat down on the curb, phone pressed to my ear like it was the only thing holding me up. "She said she only posted the spreadsheet to win the final part of the bet," Sabrina continued. "Who could go the most viral after dumping their project? That was the goal. She humiliated me for a bet." Sabrina hesitated. It was more than just a bet by then. It got wrapped up in her brand. Her followers liked the whole baddie who dumped the broke guy storyline. She couldn't stop it even if she wanted to. I didn't respond. I couldn't. I just stared at the sidewalk like it had betrayed me too. "One more thing," she added. "She's trying to do it again, with someone new." "What?" "Yep. Different guy. Same setup. Newer, bigger audience now. It's all part of her new content series. She's calling it Dating Down, Season 2. I thought you deserved to know." That night, I didn't sleep. I kept replaying every moment of our relationship. Every joke, every trip, every little fight that ended with, "I love you, don't be mad." Every moment I thought was real suddenly wasn't. She hadn't just broken my heart. She had built a career off it. I couldn't believe how close I'd been to falling for her all over again just weeks ago. Letting her stay the night, making a post to protect her. I had defended someone who used me like a social experiment. And now, she was doing it again. The next day, I wrote a final post on Reddit. Final update. I got played, and so will the next guy I tried to take the high road. I really did. After my last post, I found out from someone close to my ex, we'll call her Lexi, that everything was a game to her. A literal bet. She dated me, a guy who made less money, had fewer followers, and lived a modest life as part of a challenge among her influencer friends. I was the project. The goal: keep me around long enough to build content, go viral during the breakup, and frame me as the pathetic ex. The spreadsheet? Part of the final push. A season finale for her followers. And now, apparently, she's doing it again. I don't know who the next guy is, but if you're out there, and something feels off if she calls you boring, if you're suddenly part of TikToks you didn't sign up for, or if she starts taking pictures of your grocery receipts, run. To everyone who sent hate my way and then sent hate her way, maybe we all need to chill a little. Real people get destroyed by fake narratives. And not every viral post needs a villain. I'm out. For real this time. That post went viral too, but not in the same way. This time, I wasn't the punchline. People apologized. Others admitted they'd followed her and believed every word. A few even came forward with similar stories, influencer exes who used them as content. Lexi posted a vague response on her Instagram story. It's sad when people try to tear you down because you're growing. People love to twist the truth, but my story is mine. She never named me, but she didn't deny it either. Her follower count dropped by over 40,000 in a week. Sponsors pulled out. Her podcast, the one she launched about dating smarter, not harder, was quietly deleted. I didn't celebrate. I didn't post another update. I just logged off and went back to my life. Quiet, boring, real. It's been 7 months since I made that final post. Sometimes, I still wake up thinking she's beside me. Her perfume in the sheets. Her phone buzzing with notifications before mine. Then I remember she's not, and maybe never really was. I moved out of the apartment. I needed a fresh space. Somewhere not soaked in the echoes of fake love and TikTok scripts. I live in a 1-bedroom place now. Still modest. Still nothing Instagram-worthy but mine. It took me a long time to start dating again. Not because I was scared of being hurt that comes with the territory, but because I was scared of being content fodder again, of being someone's viral moment. Someone's lesson. That fear still lingers. But something else happened too. I started writing again. Not posts, not Reddit rants, just journaling, short stories. Even a script idea. Inspired by everything that happened. It's therapeutic, in a weird way, turning your trauma into fiction, making it hurt a little less. A few people from my old life reached out. Not just friends, strangers. People who had been in similar situations. One guy told me his ex used him to grow her Twitch stream. Another girl said she was made to feel worthless by a guy who filmed pranks on her daily for content. She didn't even realize she was in an abusive relationship until someone in the comments told her. Turns out my story wasn't so rare after all. Lexi, as far as I can tell, is still online. Her new content is less about dating now. More lifestyle, travel, vague, healing posts. No more projects. At least none that the internet's noticed yet. I don't check often, but once in a while, curiosity wins. She posted a video recently, just her, walking on a beach. Some emotional music in the background. Caption said, "Sometimes we hurt people we never meant to. But that doesn't mean we weren't hurting too." I didn't like it. I didn't comment. I just scrolled past. That part of my life is over. Or at least, it's not mine to carry anymore. I got dinner last week with Sabrina, the same friend who warned me. We laughed a lot. Talked about life, jobs, dating in a world that wants everything documented. At one point, she asked me, "If you could go back and erase all of it, would you?" It caught me off guard. The easy answer was yes. Who wouldn't want to skip the heartbreak, the humiliation, the public mess? But I thought about it. The nights we stayed up till 3 a.m. talking about dreams. The stupid road trip where we got lost and laughed for hours. The way Lexi used to look at me before the camera was ever on. And I said, no, I'd still go through it. But maybe I'd leave earlier. She nodded. Yeah, that's fair. I guess what I learned is this. Not every bad thing that happens to you has to define you. Not every person who breaks you deserves to be hated forever. And not every story ends with revenge, or closure, or perfect justice. Sometimes, all you get is distance. And distance, as it turns out, is enough. I've started seeing someone new. Her name's Hannah. She's not an influencer or a model or a content creator. She's just a person. Quiet, kind, smart in a way that humbles me. We go to the bookstore on Sundays. She asks questions that make me think. She doesn't post about us, and I don't ask her to. We exist in real life, and that's more than enough. So, yeah, that's the story of how I got turned into content, survived it, and found something better than validation. Myself. Thanks for reading. If you like this video, please subscribe for more.